up here in the front of the room, you've got some materials that you need, but then also the guidelines for doing this. Okay, now I'm recording this so that, you know, let's say you leave, you're gone for a little while, then you get to the point where you need to add paper. We want to make sure we follow these directions to make it easier for you to add paper later. Raise your hand if you were in Art 1 and you ran into a situation where you had to take your whole portfolio apart to add more paper. Okay, now that happened for a reason. That happened because we didn't put it together the right way. The binding comb wasn't facing the right direction. Okay, so that's the purpose of this video and this demonstration here, to make sure we all get this correct. Okay, do we all understand that? So again, the supplies that we're getting today, you're each going to get a binding comb, you're going to get white paper for the inside of your sketchbook, and then color paper to match your portfolios, so that you can, at a glance, see which one is, you know, which classes these go to, okay? But those represent the front and the back. But again, when we're putting it together, you have to make sure you're thinking about which cover is the front and which cover is the back. Okay, you guys all with me so far? All right, so you have your binding comb. Up here at the top of the binding machine, you have these, you know, these little fingers that stick out. Basically, what that's for is to hold on to the binding comb. You want your binding comb to open to the top. Okay. All right. So I slide this in. Okay. Then there's this little lever over here to the side. Okay. And when I pull on that, it opens these little fingers up here for the binding comb, or the combs, whatever you want to call them. Okay. Now we want to make sure that we are putting this together so that we're opening to the back cover, right? And again, the idea is eventually we're going to run out of paper, so we want to be able to easily add paper when it's time for that, right? We don't want to have to take it all apart, or we don't want to add paper to the front. We want to add paper to the back. So the front cover would go on first. Everybody see this? This would be the front cover. Alright, so that goes on first. I'm going to put it so my words are to the inside so that I can still decorate this or personalize it however I want. Okay. Then I put my papers in. Okay. Thank you. And I've got my back cover, right? So I would take this and just slide this in here. Okay. So that's putting it together. Okay. Now, as far as punching the holes to make sure that fits, if I were to take this colored piece of paper, you can see down here there is a groove where you can slide the paper into. You always want to make sure that this little toggle here is set to letter, okay? And you're just going to push this paper in. You can do multiple sheets at a time, roughly about 10 at a time, and you'd be fine. But the big thing is you want this to be pushed in so that it is flat all the way across. And you can kind of tell there's a ledge underneath here that I'm putting this up against. Okay? Then I pull this, right? And I punch my holes. Now the problem is if we put this in and it's not even, right? And one end is pushed back further than the other, and then I do this, you see what happens here? Okay? Alright, so you want to make sure that, very carefully, that it's completely flat against that ledge. Okay? Are there any questions about this process?
How many papers is
That is cinematography at its best right now. Okay, alright, thanks.